And our top story, a massive explosion and electrical fire at a local power plant sends flames, smoke, and sparks into the air. Thank you for joining us. As News 4 was first to report a spectacular fire this evening at an Ameren UE power plant.
First, the most important news, only one minor injury. The fire happened at a plant in Venice, Illinois, along the Mississippi River, just north of downtown St. Louis. Mike O'Connell begins our team coverage.
6:42 p.m. Ameren UE's Venice power plant is rocked by a massive explosion of fire. The giant oil and natural gas-fired plant beside the McKinley Bridge and Mississippi River started burning about 6:15 when an oil leak on the turbine floor sparks the blaze. At 6:47 p.m., another massive explosion at the plant's southeast corner. The 24 Ameren UE employees on duty are given the order to clear out. The situation is simply too unstable. Earlier, they had struggled to evacuate the giant building in the dark and stood by. But now they must flee, climbing over a barbed wire fence. Also pulling out, firefighters and emergency crews. With oil and gas stored on the property, it would be too dangerous to attempt to fight the blaze. So firefighters stand back near the east entrance to the McKinley Bridge as a bright white fire starts in the plant's electrical transformer field. It will burn bright, clearly visible from St. Louis across the Mississippi River for about an hour.
We got a couple of hydrogen tanks down there. What we're concerned about right now, okay? We're trying to get down there and get some water on them, make sure that they're cooled before we get inside. We haven't made an assessment yet because we can't get inside.
At about 7:50 p.m., power is cut to the transformer field and a clear white cloud rises above the plant.
Basically, what they're trying to do now is make sure everything's out, all electricity's off, and then on the other side of the river at our headquarters, we've got a team feverishly working, trying to figure out how to work without 3 substations and a major, what we call a bulk substation, outside the plant.
As you have seen, the fire had several explosions. The first we witnessed occurring at 6:43 this evening. In fact, in watching this, you can see the ball of flame rising on the left side, the west side of the plant, the side closest to the river. 5 minutes later, a second blast on the right side, east side of the plant, massive, dwarfing the first blast. These images from our fixed camera position at the Casino Queen, looking north, also clearly showing how that thick black smoke started pouring across the river and across downtown St. Louis. This was a big problem for firefighters. Take a look at these pictures from Sky Zoom 4. They had multiple blazes to battle. There is a large fire on the river side of the building, and then on the east side you have a major electrical fire still burning out of control at the time of these pictures. A difficult situation for emergency crews right from the start.
These firefighters were not alone in their battle.
That's right, because they sent out a call for help immediately. And at that time, early in the crisis, several units from the St. Louis City Fire Department started answering the call. You see a number of hook and ladder trucks as well as ambulance units making their way across the McKinley Bridge and to the scene. John Mills continues our live coverage with more on the challenge facing the firefighters. John.
Larry, Miriam, about a dozen fire trucks are still on the scene here in Venice, Illinois. Many of the firefighters here have been told to sit and wait, that they are on standby just in case the fire flares up again. And we know that 2 small fires are still burning inside the power plant. Some of the concerns are still those hydrogen tanks inside the power plant. When Venice fire officials saw the size of this fire, they knew they would need a lot of help. It is the fire Venice, Illinois never expected. Billowing smoke visible for more than 20 miles.
I heard some explosion, and I come outside to see what it was, and there it was, a bunch of smoke, black, blue, just all different colors smoke.
As the electrical fire raged out of control, the Venice Fire Department called for help, unable to handle the huge fire all alone.
We got the refinery out of Wood River. Basically, we got people that can handle hazardous material. We got FEMA from the state. We got all the help we can get right now, what we need right now, hopefully.
The Army sent help from nearby Granite City, and the city of St. Louis sent multiple trucks and crews for what the Venice fire chief called a dangerous, still volatile situation.
Okay, we took all precautionary measures because this has never happened before.
Is it under control?
We don't know yet. Right now, they're down there right now. We're still making an assessment, okay? And as soon as I find out something, we'll try to let you know.
Now you're looking at a live picture here in Venice, Illinois. Some of those firefighters who are still on standby in this situation. That's a truck from the nearby Army Depot in Granite City, Illinois. We also have some foam trucks just along the side of me here in case those trucks are needed to go in and try to put out any other fires that happen to flare up tonight. Larry, Miriam, back to you.
Okay, John Mills. John Mills reporting live from Venice, Illinois. Thank you.
The fire was centered at the Venice power plant, but the impact was widespread.
That's because the fire caused spot power outages across St. Louis. Blame it on this electrical fire. Now watch closely. Sky Zoom 4 was overhead the moment that white fire was extinguished. It appears to go out with a bang as the area fills with more smoke. News 4's Ann State continues our team coverage now with more on power outages caused by the fire. Ann?
Well, Miriam, we're downtown. We're actually at the corner of Tucker and Olive. It is really hit and miss downtown. You've got one place that could be fine, while the place right across the street could be out of power. And if you were one of those places and did not have a backup generator, you were out of luck. A power plant in Venice, Illinois goes up in flames, and it doesn't take long before people on both sides of the river are feeling the effects. Pockets of downtown went black, including the block where the Jefferson Arms is. The building is home to many seniors.
I'm lucky I had my wheelchair down, but I was down before the power went out.
Florence Bennett has a friend up on the 6th floor. She can't get down because she also uses a wheelchair, and the elevator doesn't work.
But she's stuck up in her apartment because she can't get down.
However, most of the people in the building did get out, we're told, but that wasn't the end of their problems.
I was going to go to the bank. Okay, but the bank teller machine doesn't work either, so we're really inconvenienced.
And we're back out here live. You're looking at live pictures of the Jefferson Arms, and as you can see, it is still dark. They do have some backup generators, we should note, in the building, but the power is still out. By the way, 8,000 people are still without power. That's the last number we're getting from the power company. Some of those places affected, of course, downtown where we are, South City, that's on the Missouri side, and of course in Illinois we're hearing people in Venice and Granite City, just to name a few. And unfortunately, no word, Larry and Miriam, when that power might be back on.
Michael Connell has a late update on the power plant explosion in Venice, Illinois.
Mike, what's the latest?
Miriam and Larry, as we know, this fire broke out around 6:15. We're taking a look in a few minutes at some pictures from earlier, but right now, two small fires still burning in the Ameren UE Venice plant in Venice, Illinois. This is an oil and natural gas fired plant. St. Louis firefighters plan to go in and extinguish those two blazes once they get assurances, absolute assurances from Ameren UE that no power is flowing into this plant. Ameren says one worker suffered minor cuts exiting the plant, did not need to be hospitalized, and Ameren tells us they have crews all over working to restore power to the thousands of families and businesses that right now are without power. But according to the fire departments here on the scene, there is no danger to anyone in this area. They feel very good about what's happened, and we are told that apparently nothing toxic, no toxic fumes got out of this plant. Larry, Miriam, back to you.
All right, Mike O'Connell, 8,000.